A day on the job of a crop farmer varies depending on the time of year. In the harvest season and in the planting season, it is more likely to be busy, and they're more likely to spend a lot more time away from their family. But in between those two seasons and during the winter, there is plenty of to do, and whether it's working on other projects or working on equipment in the off season so they can use it next year. Tasks they do during any time of the year include planting the seed, applying pesticides and other chemicals to the seed to help it grow, harvesting the crop, and fixing equipment as needed. In crop farming, there's not a lot of salary. You get paid when you sell your crop. Most years, farmers really hope to break even, and sometimes they make money and sometimes they lose money. It's a very undetermined amount of money you get every year. A lot of farmers are needed in the rural America. You can't really plant a field in the middle of town. But there's a lot of people working in this field, but there's barely enough to sustain the food supply for our growing population in America and around the world. There's no formal education required after high school, but it is helpful, especially if you go to Northwest State or Ohio State's agronomy and agricultural side. They offer great programs that help you understand soil and why we do what we do. But mainly on-the-job learning is like critical, especially on like going with the flow and trusting your gut, especially with like the spring we had this past spring. You never really was told what to do. It was a big phenomenon that no one expected, and a lot of farmers suffered from that, but they were able to get crops in and get some money out of it that way. But acknowledge a knowledge of agriculture and just like the baseline of agriculture is kind of needed in farming, especially. There's no real advancement opportunities in the field, like in thoughts of like a promotion, but there's always ways you can like expand your farm, buy more equipment, buy more land, or expand the farm in like sense of purchasing livestock and also raising livestock instead of just crop farming. Um, my father's a crop farmer, and I asked him two big questions along with some other questions to like guide my what I was gonna say. But I asked him, the two main question was, uh, do you think crop farming is rewarding and why? He said he said yes, I think it's rewarding because you get grow food for other people, work outside, and run big equipment, all while providing for your family and seeing your family help and all that. Also, I asked him, how often does he actually use chemistry? He said chemistry comes into play when you're spraying chemicals, obviously. Chemicals have to be mixed and handled properly and safely. Many times throughout the farming season, he handles chemicals, whether it's pre-spraying or post-spraying after planting season. And also the mathematical side of chemistry comes into play when chemicals are being mixed, because they have to be mixed in proportions, and if you don't get the proportions right, it's going to damage your crop more than it's going to help your crop. I'm looking to pursue a agricultural field once I graduate high school, but I prefer to go on the animal side of agriculture, but I always have crop farming to have like a fallback on, and I'm very interested in it, and I'd love to have time to work on the farm with my dad because it's a lot of family time that I miss out on because of it. It's just a good way to spend time with my father and have fun.